Thank God it's Friday again. If you don't know what TGIF stands for, that's it. And I hope you have a great plans for this weekend, and we can start. So our plan for this weekend is basically to talk with someone today, and that someone will be one of our newest mates. Thank you so much, Kay and Emiko. I see your comments. Thank you so much. So today our guest will be, you guys know, it's gonna be Toshi. Toshi is one of our newer mates, not so new, but one of our newer mates. So I hope you guys enjoy our conversation with him today. And also, let me explain the flow. For the 20 minutes, we're going to be talking with Toshi today. But you can still use the chat to post comments, to answer some of our questions. If we will have questions for you, you can put the emojis or anything. And then after those 20 minutes, you can also start asking questions to Toshi if you have any. So Toshi, come here. It's your time. Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet everyone.
He's here. Hi. So,
oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you, actually.
Yeah, nice to meet you, actually.
Yeah. It's, if you guys don't know, it also is the first time we meet today.
Yep.
So I am very, very curious about you. Because, yeah,
okay.
We've never talked before.
No, never.
Except for maybe like some official LanCul stuff, but...
Yeah, maybe on like Slack or something.
Yeah.
But...
So, Toshi, can you kind of introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Toshi. My full name's Toshiki. But Toshi for short. Half Japanese and half American. So that explains the accent. But,
right.
Yeah, I grew up here in Tokyo. And I also spent some years overseas. I went to California for university for like 4.5 years, and I also spent like about a year-ish in Australia. So I was overseas for quite some time, like maybe like 5-ish, 6-ish years, and then I came back to Tokyo last year, and that's my brief history, I guess.
So how are you adjusting yourself back in Tokyo now after years abroad?
I really like it. I mean, I think you can relate, but Tokyo is such a convenient city, and like, you know, konbini everywhere, and just like you can go anywhere at whatever time you want. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And
also, like, what else? Like, I like the people here too, you know, and yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy being back. The only thing that sucks is that I came back during the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah, it was like it was like right before the pandemic, maybe like February 2020. So I haven't been able to like fully experience like the Tokyo that you know, I've experienced before. So
when did you leave Tokyo then?
I left Tokyo when I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago then.
Yep, some time ago.
Interesting. Okay, so you said you're half Japanese, half American, which I mean, well, in LanCul we do have a lot of mates, kind of like half, right? But how would you say, how was your experience growing up in Tokyo with as, how do you say like in Japanese? Hafu, right? Hafu.
As a hafu. I mean, my experience doesn't necessarily reflect everyone's experience, but I didn't really feel any sort of way growing up as a hafu in Japan for the most part. I went to an international school, so I actually had a lot of my friends were also like hafu or like foreign or something. So yeah, I felt pretty much included a lot. But I remember as a child, sometimes like I used to go to Kumon, which is like an after school like study place kind of for kids.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like I was called some names as a child.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you know, it's okay. You know, we're good. But I think a lot of people experience some stuff like that. But for the most part, my childhood was pretty good, I'd say. I enjoyed it.
So, to prepare kind of for today, I checked also your profile.
Oh, okay.
And one thing that was really, really interesting for me was that you said in your profile that you're working on your Japanese language.
Yeah, a little bit.
Explain yourself.
Well, so I grew up in, I went to an international school. So international schools in Tokyo are all English speaking. So the education is primarily in English. So that means I wasn't able to go through like the Japanese education system. So my Japanese education was pretty much based on like TV, manga, like anime, and also my mother who speaks Japanese, and also my Japanese family here in Japan. So I can speak, and on the surface it might look like I'm fluent, but once we start diving into some difficult words or like some complex, ideas, that's when I start to kind of I don't know about this, start checking out a little bit.
So at home, was it like kind of half English, half Japanese spoken?
Yeah, pretty much. So my mother can speak like a little bit of English.
Okay.
And my father can't speak any Japanese.
Oh.
So it's kind of a weird relationship. So I had to translate a lot growing up.
Wow, that is really fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's why they had me, so I can translate for them. But it was kind of, yeah, that was the situation.
Very interesting. So, that's a really, really interesting kind of experience growing up, really. You had very unique experience, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's still kind of it's sometimes frustrating because my mother and father, they can't communicate.
Okay.
So I still, to this day, I have to translate, and when my mother's upset and my father, my dad has no idea what she's upset about, and then I have to explain the situation. It's just kind of
awkward.
It's awkward being the middleman,
Right, yeah,
so,
definitely, always.
But yeah, so I guess it's an interesting upbringing, I would say, maybe.
Very interesting. Well, I'm sure you probably get asked that a lot. So let's kind of move on from that topic. How about you said, you came back to Tokyo during the pandemic. So the pandemic is kind of the time where we have so much kind of time basically to do whatever we want at home.
Sure, yeah.
How do you spend your free time then?
Free time, okay. Just like anyone else, I watch Netflix, and I watch movies, read books and stuff like that, but I also do freelance art.
Right.
So I do that a lot of the time, I'd say. And even when I'm not working, I'm always trying to improve my skills and stuff. So yeah, there's always something to do in that regard, but I'm also sometimes a little bit lazy, so I'll binge watch whatever Netflix show there is and stuff.
But freelance artist, that sounds really, really interesting. So could you tell us a little bit kind of
what I do?
Yeah.
So basically I do my job title is freelance environment artist, which means that I make environments for video games.
Oh,
so
okay.
For example, any video game you can think of, I don't know, do you have an example?
Witcher?
Yeah, Witcher, that has an elaborate environment, right? The buildings and the floor and the walls and stuff. So basically my job would be to make that.
Wow. Which is, I'm kind of jealous because I love video games. So guys, are you interested in art? Have you ever heard about, how do you say, environmental artists?
Environment art, yeah, environment artists.
Have you guys ever heard about that? That's a real, I hear about it for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously someone has to do it, right?
Someone has to do it. Someone does, believe it or not, yeah.
Wow. So how, so basically you have to kind of come up with ideas for the world that the game is going to be set in, right?
Yeah, kind of. So usually, my role is, I do 3D art, which means I make the world in 3D inside of a computer, which becomes the video game, but I'm also given 2D concept sketches.
Oh, okay.
So some people will like, I guess, draw up like a world, like an elaborate world, like it's like a fantasy land with, you know, fairies and this and that, and they'll give that to me, and then I'll look at it and I'll say, okay, I can make this, I can make that, and then kind of like, you know, go back and forth with the client, and then kind of start off from there.
Amazing. So you said you create like 3D environments, right?
Yes.
That means you also need to be kind of fluent with computer kind of languages.
You mean like programming and
Right,
stuff?
yeah.
Not really. So I deal with more like the art aspect of it. So my job doesn't really relate too much to the programming side. But I think what happens is once I finish my work, I'll give it off to like the technical team, and then they'll deal with the programming stuff. I cannot do any of that. I'm not smart enough for that. So
Okay. So basically artist.
I guess, yes.
Nice. Okay. Guys, so have you ever heard about that? Environmental
Environment artist.
environment artist, thank you. And also, do you enjoy video games? Because I love video games. So you can answer with the emojis, or you can answer in the chat. Don't be afraid to use the chat. Also, as I always say, don't be scared of spelling mistakes. I am a terrible English speller, so
Me too.
there you go. So do not worry about that. Sophia, I've never heard of that kind of art. See?
Yeah, well,
I'm not the only one. I'm so happy.
I think it's a little underappreciated, I think. Because, you know, when you think of art, you think of like the conventional like paintings and sculptures and stuff. But, you know, we're well and alive, you know?
Yeah, that's when I read your profile and I read that you were interested in art, the first thing that came to my mind was just, you know, painting and...
Right. I can't do any of that, so...
Really?
No, not at all. No.
So basically, your kind of art would be, you know, tablet and just...
Yeah, tablet. Like I built a PC for my art because like I need like really good like specs. Like really good like parts for my otherwise it won't run some of the softwares.
Really good equipment.
Yeah, so it's kind of an expensive operation.
Guys, I feel like we have a genius here and we didn't even know it.
I can't do it. No. I'm not a genius. Absolutely.
I mean, you build your own computer, didn't
That's
you?
actually pretty easy. Like, you just have to watch a YouTube tutorial. I swear to God.
Everything is on YouTube.
Everything's on
days,
YouTube.
right?
I learned everything I know off of YouTube.
There you go. Yes, actually me too. But I cannot. For like any kind of computer stuff, the only thing I know how to do is play games.
And that's enough. I think. That's enough. Yeah.
Would you be willing, if you don't have to if you don't want to, but would you be like willing to share maybe like a title of a game that you worked on, or is it like a secret thing?
I'll once it's done, I'll share it.
Oh, perfect.
Done.
Okay,
Once
so
it's done.
guys, when you go to Toshi's session, maybe you can ask him a little bit about that.
And it should be done this year, so.
Oh, perfect.
So a couple months.
Yeah, it's already September, so.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good job. So let's go to a topic that I didn't know maybe we're gonna move into, but you said you have tattoos.
I only have one. It's tiny. It's tiny.
Oh, really?
But I like it, so.
Yeah. Would you like to have more?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always like thinking about the next one, and my family isn't too happy about it, but you know.
Right.
Like it's already there, so.
Right. It's really interesting because of course in Japan it's kind of like a controversial topic.
Slightly, yeah, it's slight taboo a little bit, you know.
Yeah, tattoos. So I if you guys have joined my sessions, you obviously know I'm a huge tattoo fan, and I do have a lot myself. So I was kind of interested in that.
Do you want more?
Oh, I want so many.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
What do you want? I want, basically I want my right hand to be fully covered in tattoos.
Really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, with what kind of like art though?
So I want like very random little tattoos. Yeah. But you said you want another one. So
I do.
is that going to be the living
It might
dictionary?
be. It might be. I might have to get it across my chest, you know? Living dictionary.
Guys, what do you think actually? It is quite a controversial maybe topic, but maybe not so common topic in Japan. So are you guys interested in having tattoos? Do you have tattoos yourself maybe, if you are okay with sharing that information? So you said like your tattoo is small, so
Yeah.
no problem with going to like onsen and sentai.
Yeah, not a problem, you know? I thought I might run into some issues, but I put like a little patch on it, and it was fine. And it's also small. Like I could show it, but it's like it's kind of hard.
I am.
This is I am. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Is there a meaning behind it, or?
Yeah, kind of. So the meaning is like, so when I was in Australia 2 years ago, I had just graduated university, and I knew that right out of university I wasn't going to get an artist job right away. And it's so easy to compare yourself to other people that are successful, especially in like the art business, because it's so competitive.
Right.
So this is supposed to signify like, hey, I am an artist, or I am something something. So like, even if you don't feel confidence in yourself, like just keep moving forward and just do what you believe, I guess.
That's beautiful. That's so guys. Now I want to join your session. I feel like I'm gonna be like so inspired after I finish, you know, being like a member at your table.
Well, I mean, come join, you know?
Yeah, guys, if you want some like inspirational quotes, I guess join Toshi's table, because that can be very, very motivating meeting, I think. But
Maybe.
that's true.
I never
though.
talked about that in my sessions though, so this is a first for everyone.
Guys,
No?
you're the first one to hear it now and to get to know about Toshi's tattoo.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really, really cute. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think when you start getting tattoos, your first tattoos will be like very meaningful, but the more you get, the less meaning they have.
That's what I've heard, and also like I said, I'm thinking of like my next one and stuff, and they have absolutely no meaning, you know?
Right.
Like at least the ones that I'm thinking of.
Right.
So, but you know, it's at the end of the day, if you like them, then that's all that matters, right? So.
Exactly. But wow, that's amazing. Sophia, I like the meaning of your tattoo.
Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Guys, it's actually 20 minutes past. So if you do have any questions for Toshi.
Fast.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was
Time
so
flies.
fast,
Time flies when you have fun.
That's true. That is true.
So if you guys have any questions from your perspective, from yourself to Toshi, you can use the chat to ask. Don't be scared about spelling mistakes. It's all good. We all make them, no problem. Even native speakers make them. I mean,
Yeah, I can't spell anything, so.
right? Same. Even in my own native language, I cannot really spell much. So don't be scared. If you have any questions. But yeah, I guess with artists, world of artists, I would see a lot of tattooed people, like heavily tattooed people.
Oh yeah. I've definitely met, you know, a handful of people like that for sure. So it's definitely not an uncommon thing, you know. And also here in Japan, just like in general, I think among the younger people, the attitude is generally changing too.
I think so too.
It's a slow process, but I think it's changing a little bit.
Right. In summer, in trains, you can see a lot of young people with like kind of fashion tattoos, right?
Yeah. Like like small ones and stuff like that, you know.
Very cute ones.
Yeah, I like it.
But outside of like art, what are also your interests? What are you interested in?
What else am I interested in? I mean, well, so I do like my computer a lot.
Okay.
So recently, so I did briefly mention this, but I recently made my computer. Like I bought parts online, and so now like I just kind of treat my computer like my baby. You know? And now I'm just looking at like how can I customize it better, and like how can I get better keyboard and stuff like that. So now that's all like I'm into, you know.
Oh, that's cute. That is so adorable.
So
do you have a name for it?
I don't have a name.
Oh, you should give it a name.
Yeah, I guess I should, but
you should. It's your baby.
yeah, I know. I kind of like do this thing, you know? I touch it sometimes.
Nice.
But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I do that sometimes. What else am I into? Recently, well, not recently. I used to skateboard a lot. So I used to skate for like almost 9 years or something.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I haven't skated in a year, and I really want to get back into it. But yeah, I would say that used to be one of my biggest hobbies.
Right, and recently it got kind of popular in Japan because of the Olympics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And you know, some of the Japanese skaters are absolutely
amazing.
They were killing it.
And so young.
I know,
goodness.
so young.
My goodness. Do you have some favorite artists?
Yeah, I do. I usually say like Monet is one of my favorite artists. I really like the colors and all that. And also Van Gogh or Van Gogh is also one of my favorites. Yeah, big names. And also, I also really like Keith Haring, who is like a pop artist from like the 80s in New York. I'm sure you'll recognize his work.
I'm embarrassed. I feel like I heard that name though.
Like, you'll see like collaborations with Uniqlo and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm sure you'll recognize his work, but I really like, I really like that kind of style too. It's like really poppy and fun and kind of cute.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
Nice. Guys, we still have 10 more minutes, so if you still have, perfect.
Okay.
Emiko, just ask the question. Tonight.
Jurassic Park is on TV. Do you make that kind of CGI?
Oh.
That's a very good question.
That is a very good question.
So, kind of.
Wait.
So basically, it's Emiko-san is not wrong because but Jurassic Park is for movies,
right?
But I do it for video games, so it's a little bit different how you make stuff for video games and make stuff for film, but it's very similar in a lot of regards. So yeah, it's like CGI for like video games, if you want to call it that. But yeah, those
good question.
Pretty close.
Emiko-san, yeah.
Pretty close.
I would not even think about that.
Yeah.
Would you like to work on a movie with like CGI?
Yeah, I would, but it's like I said, it's a slightly different discipline, so I would have to like kind of relearn some stuff, and so I would love to, but it's because I was always into movies, which is why I also really like Pixar. And to be honest, like I do work for video games now, but I didn't even play like a lot of video games. So
what?
But I really enjoy the process of making the stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So would be there a time for you that you might think about kind of transferring from video game environment to movie environment?
Yeah, maybe. I would love to do that.
Interesting.
Especially if it's like an inspiring project and stuff like that. So,
what about a new Jurassic Park movie?
I mean, hey, if they want to hire me, you know, you can find my resume on my website, you know.
There you go. Or some kind of like an adaptation of anime
something like
or
that.
something.
Yeah.
May I educate him playing games? I will. I will tell him everything about games after TGI.
I mean, I played, my generation, we played like a lot of Pokemon and stuff like that. And when I was in middle school, I played like Call of Duty and, all that those types of games. But like, I'm still catching up, I'm still catching up.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Oh, okay, we're kind of similar. Okay, we have many questions coming in. Setsuko, the world in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was huge and also amazingly beautiful. Did you see or play? Maybe Meya. I played, yes, I have on Nintendo. Do you have any comments about it?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. That's all I can say. Like, it's just tremendous work by the people that made it, and that's the kind of art that I'm talking about.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So it's yeah, when I see that stuff, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like so much work and that went into it, and it's just very creative and stuff like that. So that really inspires me.
It is breathtaking. No pun intended, but it is breathtaking.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful world. Like I play on like a small Nintendo, the light version, but even on the small screen, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so pretty, so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
so this is some kind of like a word.
Yeah, yes.
There you go.
We nailed it down. Yeah.
Perfect. Like everybody is on point today with the questions, actually.
Impressive, yeah.
Sophia, what made you come back to Japan, if you don't mind?
That's okay. So I lived in Australia for a year, and I really enjoyed my time there. I was studying on my own, and I was also like working, different kinds of jobs while I was there. And I knew that lifestyle wasn't exactly sustainable forever for me personally, and I knew that I wanted to work in video games, and they don't have a lot of video game studios out there. So I knew that coming back to Japan would be a very good career decision for me, you know. So that's why I came back to Japan, and I was studying for like 3-ish months or something, and then after that I started working freelance. So yeah, so it worked out.
Nice, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations. So when you say you work as a freelance, basically are kind of creators of video games reaching out to you to say like, hey, can you help us create this type of...
pretty much.
Okay.
And so that they usually reach out to me, and I've also applied to different places too, but a lot of people have reached out to me as well.
So basically your coming back to Japan was motivated by career.
Yeah, career aspirations, and I really enjoyed Australia. Like it was so fun, and like I met so many great people there, and if I had it my way, I didn't want to leave, but also at the same time I knew that, like I worked on a farm and stuff like that, so but I knew I couldn't do that forever. So and that's why I came back.
Right, definitely. If you have some plan of like career plan, you don't want to kind of get stuck with doing part-time jobs and stuff like this.
Right. So, but I think it worked out for me.